pretty dangerous.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to my YouTube channel again. I'm your host Umer Malik from TJT Tech. So guys, finally I'm back after a long time with other informative videos about M2 chip, which is expected to be launched maybe in this year. So let's talk about it. Rumor has it Apple has plans for a MacBook Pro 2022, and so far all indicators point to it being a new entry-level MacBook Pro packing the next big thing in Apple silicon. That's potentially huge, because last year Apple chalked up the laptop market in a big way with the release of the current entry-level MacBook Pro M1. That 13-inch Pro delivered unprecedented improvements in performance and efficiency compared to its predecessors, in large part thanks for the power of the M1 chip. It was so good it catapulted the 13-inch Pro to a top spot on your list of the best laptops you can buy. Apple has since released two redesigned 14-inch MacBook Pro and 16-inch MacBook Pro with your choice of M1 Pro or M1 Max chips. But those systems starts at $1,999 and $2,499 respectively. But now, Apple has a new Pro expected to debut in 2022, one that may well replace the $1,299 13-inch M1 Pro as the entry-level model, if it incorporates the smart design changes we saw in 2021 Pros while improving upon its predecessor the way all of Apple's M1-powered MacBooks have. The rumored MacBook Pro 2022 could be one of the Apple's biggest releases of the year. According to reasonably reliable tech tipster, the MacBook Pro 2022 is expected to arrive in the second half of 2022, likely around the fall time, where it will be joined by the MacBook Air 2022. Given the later laptop has been tipped for a reveal in the spring, it's tricky to assess the veracity of the new information. But at the moment, it's all we have on a release date for the MacBook Pro 2022. Until we hear official word from Apple, we won't know for sure how to expected MacBook Pro 2022 will be priced. But based on everything we have heard so far, it seems likely the starting price of MacBook Pro will be less than $2,000 and likely as low as $1,299 to $1,499. That speculation is based entirely on the fact that the MacBook Pro 2022 is rumored to be a new entry-level model, and since the current entry-level Pro is the aging 13-inch MacBook Pro with M1 starting price $1,299, a replacement will probably cleave pretty closely to the same pricing scheme. Externally, it's reasonable to expect Apple will bring the design improvements of the 2021 MacBook Pros to a new model in 2022. That means a flatter lid with the thinner bezels around the display, which has been tipped to pressure in at a larger 14 inches than the entry-level MacBook Pro's 13-inch panel. But if Apple aims to trim cost of this entry-level Pro, it may well ditch the mini LED display we love on the 2021 Pros in favor of a cheaper IPS LCD Retina display like those found on MacBook Airs. Also, don't be surprised if the MacBook Pro 2022 is designed with a notch in the top bezels. A notch surrounds the webcam built into the 2021 Pros, and despite causing problem, the notch is okay. The most exciting thing we have heard so far about the specs of a new MacBook Pro in 2022 is Mark Gurman's report that it will contain the Apple M2 chip. Word is that the M2 will support the same 8-core CPU as the original M1 chip, albeit running at higher clock speed. But what a 10-core GPU instead of the 8-core GPU on the M1. If that pans out, we may be looking at a situation where, much like in November of 2020, Apple unveils a new MacBook Pro and a MacBook Pro Air running on the M2 chip in 2022. However, we will have to wait to see how the chip in the updated entry-level Pro stack up against the M1 Pro and M1 Max, the souped-up M1 chips Apple packed into the 2021 Pros. So, we will have to wait and see about getting one in for testing when the next MacBook Pro is finally released. If my video is impressive, please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon button. Thank you.